Hello you guys, here I am again with an important update on the transmission. As we all know, this little guy is getting a little older, was built in 2012, so right now he has some years on his back, and we had a lot of fun. But we also had some problems. One of those problems, a very famous problem, it's this thing right here, the famous click-clack we have on the transmission when it's getting older. We all know that it has that click-clack on the differential. The truth is, it's not the differential. In some cases, it's the joint between the motor and the differential. In some other cases, are the shafts. Right now, I'm looking at that problem. Right here, the connection timing between the differential and the wheel is long. So when you press the accelerator, you have this click, this cluck when you go in the rear gear. Especially at a low speed, or when you try parking the car, when you do a lot of back and forward, this has this click-clack that's very at this point it's a little not only noisy, but it's a thing that I don't like. Right now I was analyzing, and I saw that the timing between, I will put some light here so to make myself clear. Let's try this way. So what I saw is that the shaft at this point here has a long timing from here to there. So the inner side of the shaft that's connected to the differential stays put, while right here I have a big, as you can see, right here we have this. Okay, so I will keep doing this, and right now I will show you the interior. As you can see, the shaft's connection to the differential has a very little meanwhile here we have this. Okay, on the other one, on the right side, I have the same problem. So you can imagine what happens when the differential is working, because of course the differential, as you know, it works on the when I do this, the other one does the opposite. That's how differential works, for those who don't know. So right here, as you can see, I'm doing this. Okay, and the play on the interior, as you can see, there is a big difference, because this one right here So my guess is that As you know, we have some bearings inside there, and those bearings work with cylinders, not with spheres. And when you get a lot of friction force in there, as you know, inside we have the grease that goes on the opposite direction, where is the friction force. No one opens these rubber gaskets right here to refill them with grease. So what happens is that the shaft creates more space between this bearing that I was telling you first. There are 3 of them, and there are 3 spaces where these bearings go inside every piece, and that space is getting bigger than the usual as we go forward without grease, and then happens this. So happens that the connection between that side and this one has a delay. The delay is created in the mechanism I explained first. So I suggest, because when you get at this point you have to change the shafts, but if you put grease in there in time, you don't get at this point right here. I wish I could go a little. So I can make you understand. So as you can see, that wheel does this. Meanwhile, this one does this. So we have much more play here. We have there is a longer. Of course, you have to feel this in the video. It's very difficult to understand what's happening here. But when you have your hand on the wheel and you do all that turn, and you see the other wheel that's still, you understand that there's a problem. Of course, sometimes the differential won't connect, but you have to be careful. You have to watch these joints, and you will get to that. Of course, the differential can be regenerated with new bearings and all that stuff there, but has very little play. I also assure you, sometimes the noise comes from the shafts and not from the differential. Of course, when the differential has old oil or it's missing oil, of course the differential will also make noise. But there are many cases that the big noise comes from the shafts. Sometimes from the bearings you have in there. I repeat, the rear discs, they are made only by Renault, and you have to buy them with the bearings. Of course, you can find the bearing and change it, but usually the piece comes all together. So you have all this. When you buy this, you will get also this and the bearing, so it's all together, and that's about all. I'm pretty sure many of you have this problem, the noise problem, and all this play, especially when you go over 50,000 miles. And I hope this was helpful, and I suggest you take a look at that, and if you're too late you will have to change your shafts. If not, you could open these gaskets, these rubber gaskets, and clean, or you have to, of course you will have to clean the old grease and use some new grease. There are many kinds, of course you have to use the right one. And that's about all on this update.